Fingers, fingers, and toes, and stuff crossed. No, it isn't.
What about them?
Oh, that's far too much Jack Daniels.
Blurb. Now we've just got a black screen.
It's not black and white. It's got the thing in. Oh no, there it is.
No, I had to turn it off because it's causing CPU overloads. But we're live now properly. We're not dropping frames, and we're all here. Listen, you'll have your trailers show up, but apparently nothing that does real-time rendering is going to be here. Welcome to
the void.
The ghettoest spawn point podcast that has ever come to you.
Racism immediately out the gate,
We
baby.
talked about this. It's minimalist.
I'm sure when you go to the ghetto and you call their lifestyle minimalist, they won't be happy about it.
You're like, how dare you? We are avid consumers.
Right.
We're bastards.
We've got the full cast here. I probably sound like an echo chamber because I'm in a room, in a separate empty room.
He's
I'm in an echo
a government lab conducting experiments.
And we have Andy,
No, we don't.
and we've got Luke,
Hiya, I'm drinking already.
and we do have a screen, a display. So when we need to, we can show videos. It'll be legit. But up until then, it's just gonna be black.
Yeah.
Hey Nia, welcome. Okay, right. How do we want to go about this? Do we want to talk about our weeks, or do we just gonna get deep, go in?
Okay, so I guess we could do a couple of things about our week because
Well,
I'm doing a new thing. I'm finishing my current job this week.
Yeah, Andy is changing life up.
Yeah, and I'm starting a new job on Monday.
Ooh,
Which is
so
cool.
fancy. And you've already had your like induction thing, right?
I did my induction yesterday.
So you've kind of
I'm
been
starting.
around the place.
I've been around the place. I've seen the go-kart track. I've seen the llamas.
That's pretty dope.
I've spent time with Gizmo, the pygmy owl. And that's all I needed, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would be sold if they were like, "Hey, look, come here, look at this owl. It's called Gizmo."
Yeah.
Done.
Came in, filled some forms out, petted a goat, and flew an owl, and that was about it.
Solid.
And
You're right, you flew on an owl.
yeah, I flew on an owl that was about 1 foot high.
Poor thing.
You fucking monster!
It's like in Pokemon where you've got a pigeon that knows how to fly. That's just what happens.
Yeah. Or when you've got a Doduo that knows how to fly. Was it like that? That abomination?
But yeah,
Right, Peter, do
that was my exciting week news. Has anyone else got any exciting week news?
Yeah, Luke.
That
That was weirdly like putting you on the spot to have news this week. You're Luke, tell me about your week! Ah!
You're back, Luke. You must have so much interesting things to say, considering you were gone from us for so long.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Yeah. What did you do? What's happened? You haven't been on a podcast for like what? 3
Since
podcasts?
I moved.
Forever, 3 years.
Like so 2
Six.
two podcasts and we've skipped like 2 podcasts. So basically like a month of no Luke.
Basically.
I moved.
Yeah, Luke moved to Mars.
Nice.
Also into an echo chamber.
Oh,
Yeah,
is my room leaking that much?
yeah. It is. But I think that
Bullshit.
look, Luke and me are unprofessional, so we don't know how audio
Well, there's nothing I
works.
can do about the room now.
No, I mean, no, there isn't. I agree.
Yeah, that's why I didn't point it out, because it doesn't matter. There's nothing to do about it.
But you did, Andy!
Hey!
Well, I got like a cardboard box and then spoke it into the cardboard box and put my like.
I think you should just do whatever you did to sound like General Grievous before.
Oh, Kenobi.
Just do the entire podcast as General Grievous.
I've been trained by Count Dooku in your Jedi arts.
Anyway, do you want to say anything else about your move, or?
I moved.
If we know that, but
I've streamed a bit more. I had a migraine yesterday and I almost died.
Yeah?
I feel like that's nothing not to do with the move. Okay.
No, it's just my body. My body hates me, and I got home and I was just like writhing on the bed, just like, oh my god, somebody please put a bullet through my head.
But no one did. Spoilers.
No one did. No, because I couldn't type a message because I was like, oh my god, the pain.
Unfortunately.
I tried typing a message to my mum, and like it was just like, you know how you just like sometimes just smack the keyboard so that random letters appear.
Yeah.
You know what, Luke? I
So
don't,
basically
I
that.
don't often do that.
Oh, then you have fun. But that's not a surprise to anyone.
Aww.
Okay.
Sick.
That burn was mean.
I've been gone for too long. Oh my fucking god, what was that?
I don't know, it's coming from you. You tell us!
I looked through the window and it was a normal car that made that noise.
Right, well...
Nia says Kamal slept on a normal bed after 4 days on air matters.
Yeah, I did, it was bliss! It was genuine, like, you know, there's, like, a lot of things you take for granted in life. Beds.
Like hot showers.
Hot showers. Seats, chairs. The floor is not made for sitting. At least in the Western world it isn't. Yeah. If you go Eastern, like you've got lots of cultures that have floors designed for sitting, and they're much more comfortable, you know, and they've got cushions everywhere, and like but the regular floors, Western floors, the floors Luke sits on, aren't made for sitting. Luke's just wrong.
How dare you?
Don't sit on the floor. It's weird.
And
it's fine.
And fine. How is it fine?
I mean,
sit cross-legged.
That's completely fine for a short term. If you sit like cross-legged on the hard floor for a long term, you will get hemorrhoids. You know that, right? Like it's literally bad.
Look, let's not bring Luke and his piles into this conversation.
Next thing he'll be telling you he doesn't need a washing machine.
No.
But yeah, so in my week. The reason the podcast is a mess is because I am in my apartment. I got our apartment. I've already said this in the last podcast. I got an apartment at the beginning of the year. I haven't really been in it because there's not really been much reason to be in it, and my furniture delivery is going to take 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks have passed and my furniture's arrived, so I was here to catch the furniture, to try and set up some internet, which isn't gone super well, and to get my utilities and all that sorted. Most of that is good. Internet, not so good. We're on 4G right now, that's why, and we're off a laptop, which is why the stream is so potato. It's more the laptop than the 4G, though. The 4G actually is fine.
4G was surprisingly good.
Yeah, the laptop, though, not happy about things. Oh, that's a spoiler. That was a spoiler on screen for a second. But yeah, that was my brothers just showed up, and I have been such a good host as to tell him that I am going to ignore him until I'm done with this podcast.
Cook my food, you plebeian.
So
drive to my house, then cook me dinner.
I'm kind of a dick, but yeah, I'm kind of a dick. No, there's no but to that.
But Kamal, I'm your brother. No, you're my Alfred.
Dude, if I could not, I would not. But hey, we're here now.
Yeah, it's too late now.
Right. So,
Alright.
Do we want to get into it? Do we want to get into what really happened this week?
I don't know, because not much took place, in my reckoning.
It's been a quiet week.
Yeah, it's been a very quiet week.
Yeah, I was looking for news and there was just no news. I
totally haven't put down 6 pre-orders the last few days.
I hope you did.
I did.
Oh, sweet. Okay, well, that'll be great for our closing segment. But first,
oh no,
Andy, I forget what's first.
We're doing it differently this week. Rather than talking about everyone's gonna bring their own links. I'm just gonna talk us through E3, and we're just gonna go through each of the big shows, and then we're just gonna talk about the exciting parts of those shows. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep drinking.
If that's what you need to get through this, Luke.
So, do you want to give us a quick overview of the conferences we're going to be going across?
So there was conferences from Ubisoft, EA, and Bethesda, and then for the big guys there was Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft.
Right.
They all had their own announcements and trailers and stuff, and we've picked out some interesting stuff.
Yeah, there's too much to go over in a 2-hour podcast.
So we'd be here fucking all day.
There's a reason each of their presentations was an hour and a half to 2 hours long separately.
Yeah. Some of them were really boring. So.
But hopefully, we're going to show some stuff that we're personally interested in, but we're also going to, there'll be some general talk. And if you guys in chat, whoever's in chat, Nia, I'm looking at you, have some interesting stuff, we can talk about that too. So yeah, hopefully you'll get a pretty well-rounded representation of what happened this E3, and then by the end you'll be like, hey, I liked that, that was good, or hey, that was kind of bad, I'm glad I didn't pay attention to that, you know?
Yeah, and then at the end, we're going to talk about like the things that we like the most.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with...
I knew it. I saw it
Let's
coming.
start with the most boring of the conferences, which was EA's.
Oh.
Shoot self.
This was completely wrong to the order that I was expecting it to go in.
Yeah, I thought it was like a Bethesda would have been the snore fest.
What else did I put? I'm sure
I thought you said Microsoft first.
Oh no, you're right. I did.
I even like downloaded a Microsoft image so it could say Microsoft, and Andy like blindsided me.
Okay.
Sips Jack Daniels.
Okay, so yeah, I said I was going to do one first, then but I forget which one. Yeah. Okay, let's do Microsoft first. Okay, come on. Okay.
We're starting off with the best.
I told you the in the driving seat was what was bad. Okay, so the first thing Microsoft revealed was obviously it was the big one. It was the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
So we want to show the trailer for that.
Xbox One X. What a name, eh?
Yeah.
Right. I will find the trailer in my many trailer links.
Yeah, and all of the links.
And ooh, okay, that's vicious. Right. Here we go. This is going to be a bit slow because I don't have 4 monitors to switch between link dumps and stuff.
Okay, while this is going on, I'll be right back. For some reason, someone's ring our doorbell.
Okay.
Not expecting it.
Here we go. Xbox One. Hopefully this plays okay because I'm not going to be able to see it until it's done. But yeah, I'll be quiet. This is longer than I remembered.
I know, right? Let's keep up with the excitement in, right?
Yes. I feel the power.
I'm back.
Oh, okay. That goes on a bit longer than the actual thing. Did we drop any frames there? Was it super laggy? Chat, tell me. I do need the information. So why did they have to name it X? Oh my god, Luke.
Luke just comes in and makes a huge noise.
Nia says, why did they have to... it wasn't that bad? Okay, that's good. Stuttery, but I guess if it's livable, I can't do too much other than that, to be honest, at this point. Nia says, why did they have to name it X? Why couldn't it just be like Xbox Scorpio? Or meme on the PlayStation be Xbox One Pro? Or Xbox One 5? Xbox One 5 would have been terrible. Don't you even... I would have been so, like, freaking pissed off. I already hate the name, I'm not gonna lie. Like, Xbox One X is a terrible name.
It's a terrible name. I talked to my brother about it, and he said, the first one they were talking about, he thought they were talking about Xbox One S for the longest time, because it's like the same, it basically sounds exactly the same.
Yeah, it's not only is it, like, just a letter, and letters don't really mean anything, but it's also letters that, like, you could mishear the alternative of. You know what I mean? It's not like A and B. You don't say B and go, oh my god, did you say A? But you can hear someone saying X and go, did you say S? You know, like it's
pretty similar.
Yeah, everything about it is just a bit weird to me, and like it's nothing about its design personally. Like I like its design, don't get me wrong, but nothing about its design speaks superior. Nothing about its name speaks superior. So like I feel like for the uneducated crowd when they walk into a shop, I don't think it's going to help it sell. Basically, like from a marketing standpoint, it seems like they've given the marketing team a really like a sucky job, like trying to sell this thing.
They didn't help themselves.
No.
Yeah, I think the main thing they were selling on was the specs.
Yes.
They shoved those specs.
6 teraflop.
Yeah.
Dedicated GPU, 2.3 gigahertz clocked cores, 12 GB of DDR5 graphics memory, and you know it's got a liquid cooling vapor chamber on it to keep it cool and small, and all of the stuff.
Just
numbers.
To dumb it down.
Numbers.
I know the Xbox X, the X has got 6 teraflops, the Xbox One's got 1.3, and the PS4's got 1.8, so it's got a lot more.
Yeah, and
the PS4 Pro's got 4.2.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to RAM,
the most powerful console on the market.
The Xbox One X has got 12 gigabytes of RAM, and then everything else has got 8, apart from the Switch, which has 4.
Switch.
But yeah.
Yeah, there's a big difference actually though, because that you can't look at the RAM on these consoles as just a number. So this is GDDR5 RAM, so in the new Xbox, so that's a specific type of RAM designed for graphics, extremely fast, really high frequencies, right? The Xbox One, the original, and the S did not have 8 gig of DDR5. They had 8 gig of DDR, regular old RAM, and then they had a little bonus 256 MB cache of super high speed memory, and developers were forced to do some like MacGyvering of like buffering content onto the super high fast stuff and then calling it from the super high fast stuff. But the PS4s were always just straight GDDR5, which is the faster stuff. So basically, in simple terms, the RAM on this is not only more than the Xbox One standard, but it's also better than the Xbox One standard.
It's better RAM.
So it's better RAM and it's more RAM, which is
Shinier
good.
RAM.
And easier to program with RAM, which I think is the most important part. I think you're going to start seeing features that... So this Xbox One is almost 6 times better than the original Xbox. You know, like a solid 5 times better than the original Xbox. Like in performance 5x. And you're going to see... so the pitch from Microsoft is 5 gigahertz... sorry, freaking... I was reading chat at the same time I was saying that. The pitch from Microsoft is 4K, right?
Yeah.
Which is obviously the new kind of 1080p HD display standard that's being pushed. Like, most TVs on the market nowadays, if you go to buy a TV, a brand new one, most TVs are 4K. I know that from when I was shopping for my TV just less than a month ago. You know, it's kind of like the TV manufacturers are making it, and console manufacturers are like, let's use this to sell more consoles, right? Sell new shiny consoles. So it's a similar pitch, all in all, as Sony did earlier late last year, was the Pro, when we talked about the Pro. But it's more powerful. So, you know, it's trying to do the same thing. Yeah, it's trying to do the same thing, but it looks nicer for sure, and it's more powerful.
Basically.
Which is going to help when it's, like, was what it's trying to do, because both the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X aren't powerful enough to do what they're saying they want to do, like in reality. So each drop of power is going to make a difference in the long run when you're trying to hit like an unhittable resolution like 4K.
A couple of other important numbers on it as the launch date, which is November 7th of this year.
Yeah, which is later than I expected. I was guessing for an October thing. I thought they'd want to launch it alongside Forza, and I also thought that they would want to launch it before all of the major like November releases, but now it's launching kind of alongside them, which makes it like a bit spendy.
Yeah, with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the price, which is basically it's $500, so it's
£450. is the
about
official
50 quid,
British price as well, for anyone that wants
Which
that.
is
650 Aussie dollars for anyone who lives in Australia.
everyone is unfortunate enough to live in Australia.
Fucking hell, right?
It's about the price of the original Xbox One was Kinect when it launched. Which, saying that, doesn't make it sound cheaper, but makes the original Microsoft that launched Xbox One sound like the cockiest motherfuckers in the world.
I didn't buy it first when it came out. I bought it like a few months after.
And then
it's just like, you sold it for that? Really?
Yeah, I completely forgot how outrageous that company was.
I feel like I wouldn't have paid that, but I clearly did because I've got one.
Well, did you end up getting one with Kinect, or did you wait for them to drop?
No,
Kinect?
I waited until it came out.
Okay. Yeah, because that's after Kinect, so there was a price drop for that, and then there was also another price cut because they were trying to like match Sony's prices. It was
pretty sure I paid like 350 quid for mine.
Yeah, that sounds like where it stabilized at, but like the launch price was stupid. Nia says there's a marketing bug on Amazon, and a 75-inch 4K Ultra HD QLED TV was listed for $650 instead of $5,000. Did you buy it? Because I would have bought that.
Buy it immediately.
Just sell it again.
Yeah, just put it up on eBay for like, even if you put it up for like 3K, like that's profit, right?
Yeah. Also, I love the amount of adjectives you can add to a TV nowadays.
Yeah.
4K Ultra HD Smart QLED TV, and those all mean something.
Yeah.
I was tempted.
Not like Razors, where it's like the Super Stealth Pro.
Yeah.
Gillette.
Put enough adjectives and like descriptive words, and it makes it better, right?
Oh, fucking buy that!
Yeah.
So we all knew the Scorpio's coming. We already had basically revealed all of its specs like months ago on this podcast as well.
We knew it was coming out.
It was
a matter of
the price tag and release date was the more interesting stuff.
And when, basically.
Yeah. And I guess it's also smaller than the Xbox One S, which is a big thing Microsoft keeps saying. It's like it's smaller than it. It's exactly like 0.05% smaller than it, but it is smaller than it.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be better than my current Xbox One, which literally hangs off my desk.
Oh my god, the Xbox One is an ugly, fat, slow console. What were they thinking when they released that for £500?
Don't listen to him, baby.
That Xbox One plus my like 40-inch TV, like they can barely fit on my desk.
Yeah.
So maybe the One X will actually fit on my desk now.
Oh yeah, the One X is much like compared to the original Xbox. It's tiny.
It's about a third the size, right? Something like that.
Yeah, it's the size of the PlayStation 4 Slim, which I guess isn't helping you either. I was just gonna say.
I'll just get my PS4 Slim and I'll.
Hey bro, welcome to the Spawnpoint podcast. Without any of the intensive. Yeah, there's a lot of echo.
Yeah, that's Kamal.
Oh, baby.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I can't do anything about it. I've got a crap mic. I can mute myself if you, Dad. Yeah. I can make the echo worse.
Oh,
hey!
Dalek shall reign supreme.
Okay.
I
know we were all expecting that One X to get announced at E3, but one thing I wasn't expecting them to announce was lots of games.
They did it.
Because they did. I believe there was it 30 odd exclusives they announced.
I don't know what you mean by exclusive.
When they say exclusives.
Because if you're using Microsoft's definition of exclusive, 40. If you're using my definition of exclusive, 3.
Oh, 3.
Yeah. So there's a very wide range of the definition exclusive in there.
Yeah, they announced a lot. To be fair, they still announced a lot more games than I expected.
No, it was a really good press conference. I can't take that away from them. I just wish they didn't feel the need to lie.
Exclusive.
Yeah, every time they said, because we were all watching this when it was going on, and every time an exclusive came on, I was like, it's not though, is it? It's just not.
Yeah, by the time I got to the third one, I was ready to kill you all.
I mean, that's not our fault. It's their fault. It's like, just don't.
Joke to rule of three got beaten to death.
It wasn't a joke, though. Every time they said it, I was like, is this an exclusive? Like, and I had to go check online, like, for half of them, because they were announcing new games, and then they were announcing games that had never been, like, displayed on such a big stage before, like, lots of indie titles, and they were saying that they were exclusive to Microsoft. And then you go look online, and you're like, no, they're not. Like, Why? Why do that? Like, I really don't understand it. Like, it triggered me. Like, the conference overall was good. We're gonna talk about the rest of the conference. But, like, that was my big pet peeve. So we've got that out of the way at least. You know.
Let's do a gameplay trail. So let's just play this one, and we'll just talk about it as it's going on because this is like a 6-minute long thing. So let's go for
Metro
Exodus, which was the first one they announced.
Which gorgeous.
Oh yeah, pretty as hell. Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
So let's play that, and then we'll just have a talk about it while it's going on. So anyone who hasn't played the Metro games, it's based on a series of novels by a Russian dude whose name I can't remember.
Put it on
Should have done my research. But yeah, it's based on Russia after a nuclear war, and it's how they're surviving in that sort of area.
Yeah.
So this one is, from what I've got from the rest of the from some other information, is they're now fleeing the metro tunnels and outside of Moscow, and obviously they're using the 4K graphics to their advantage because it looks pretty as heck.
Yeah. The footage shown at the conference wasn't run on a console, but it was run in a virtual environment designed to emulate the performance of the One X. So basically what you're seeing is semi-representative of One X gameplay footage. It won't look this good on any of the other consoles, but it's very pretty. It'll look better than this on PC, so there's that, I guess.
The Xbox is now the most powerful console.
Yeah.
I think the ambient effects, the fire that just went through that is pretty damn good. I think that's always what improves when they do graphics. It's always like the lighting and the weather and stuff like that. It's just the little things.
Yeah, well, because we've got up to a position where, like, geometry-wise, like, if you increase polygon count, you get really diminishing returns. So they kind of, like, the focus this generation specifically. I remember when it came out, and, like, lots of people weren't super like, when the new generation starts, like, well, is the leap as big as, like, Xbox 360 and PS3 was to PS2, and it's not. But like then when game developers started getting smart about lighting and like just ambience in the space and making it really feel alive, I think that's when this generation's games started kind of really developing. And if you look at an older game now, if you look at an Xbox 360 game, PS3 game, they look really flat. And it's because they don't have like that volumetric lighting. They don't have particles just in the environment making it have this depth that like Metro does really, really well here.
Yeah, so it's all about depth of field, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just to answer Nia's question, what other games are actually exclusive? I'm pretty sure it's Crackdown.
Crackdown is exclusive. Sea of Thieves is exclusive.
That stupid.
Sea of Thieves.
That dumbass kiddie game. What was it? The one with the squirrel.
Tales of a Fox of I don't know what it's called.
PG Conker's bad birthday.
Was Anthem exclusive as well?
No.
Or was that a Windows exclusive?
No, it's not exclusive in any way.
Okay, so I'm talking about So the one. I knew it was the fox squirrel guy and Crackdown, but I couldn't remember.
There's some other stuff. I just can't remember off the top of my head.
It's because they throw around the word exclusive so much.
It's harder. Yeah, it's
because there was timed exclusives, there was Windows exclusives.
Yeah, there are a lot of timed exclusives that they have.
A lot of them, I think
in the indie space, there's especially like they've gotten a lot of indie games that are timed exclusives. They're bringing Battlegrounds to the Xbox One. That's a console exclusive. It won't be on PlayStation. It will only be on Xbox and PC.
No, a lot of them are like Windows exclusive, so it's like Windows Store and Xbox.
Yeah.
Which I think this is Metro's a Windows exclusive.
I don't think so. No, it's on PS4.
Is it? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't blame you. It's not your fault. Microsoft lied to you.
What happens when they say just chew them all out? They're all gone. It's like, nope, don't care. I'm done.
Exclusive trailers at this conference.
Yeah, no, it was legit some stuff like they were talking to them on the stage floor and they were like, oh, well, it was an exclusive reveal.
That's not how that works.
And I was just like gobsmacked. I was like, really? Is this what we've gotten to now?
Keep the fanboys happy.
It is to keep the fanboys happy. I just don't like the confusion, honestly. Like, I've seen, because it's not just Xbox fans watching those conferences, and it feels a bit...
Kamal was watching too.
I'm getting an Xbox One X. I don't think anyone else in this call is getting one.
I'm gonna get one at some point.
But it's not, it's not like, I just like honesty, that's all. Yeah. Be honest with your players, and you'll be better for it. Whenever companies have good honest streaks, that's always when they're at their best, and then they decide to lie because they're companies.
When you go quickly back to Metro, I think it looked really impressive. It looks like it changes the gameplay a lot. It's having a lot more movement into the game because it was very much more of almost like an on the rails because it's very linear in its progression because it was very story driven. But on this one, it looks like it's still got a lot more open environments because, like I say, you were pinned to like underground a lot in the older games, and I think that they're branching out to a good thing. Yeah, that looks really good. So it's definitely one I would get again.
I'm sorry, Rita. Yeah, I agree. By the way. I definitely agree. I've never played a Metroid game before. Not Metroid. That's later. A Metro game before, but I've always liked them. I've always thought they looked like. I've always been interested in them. It's just they always came out like at an awkward time, or I was playing something else. Or something like that, and then they just fall off my radar, and then...
You see, I got them both in a sale. I think you got them both. The Deep Silver Pack, you got them both. The HD remasters for like a tenner, which is, if it ever comes up on sale again, solidly recommend. Totally worth.
Yeah, and this one looks great. This one looks beautiful. I think it's pretty far from being done, though.
Oh yeah.
From what I heard from the developers.
I don't think it's coming out straight away, but it's...
So we'll see a lot more soon, a lot more like properly in-engine gameplay. So it'll be nice to see how that stacks up against this. It's. I feel like we're in a point in time where though, and we're going to be showing some stuff later as well, like was the Anthem footage, where this is very early production footage. And I think it's important for gamers to realize that these are production trailers. But I also think there is we are in a safer space, like in the sense that like. Companies can't do what they used to do, and they know they can't do what they used to do, like was Watch Dogs 1 and stuff like that, where they show you a trailer that's way past what the game is at launch. Like, Digital Foundry has talked to the developers of Metro, and they have said, this is really genuinely what they believe they can do,
Which is good.
And Anthem later, I can talk about it. But basically, actually, I'm not even going to hit on it. We've got so much to hit, so I'm just going to say, basically, people have done video analysis on Anthem, and it shows that this is real footage running on real hardware.
So that's what we're actually going to be playing, at least very close to that.
At least on the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
Again, you are looking at stuff, and it's important. Today, everything we're looking at from the Microsoft conference is at its best, and it will look substantially worse, 6 times worse, on the Xbox One.
Probably why I'm not going to buy any of these games until I get my One X.
Well, luckily, most of the stuff they showed that's really like graphics intensive is coming out way down the line. So like
2018 sort of thing.
So yeah, the One X will come out and it'll get a price drop before you have to pick it up.
A lot of them are I think a lot of them are like first quarter 2018, second quarter 2018.
Yeah. I mean, Anthem, it could come out according to Bio as late as 2019. Metro doesn't even have a date.
Yeah, it's got no solid release date yet. So let's move on to our next
thing.
The next one is a trailer. So let's have a watch of this one. It's Crackdown 3.
Crackdown 3. This is something that's coming out this year.
Yes, it's 2 minutes, so we can just watch this one.
Okay.
So let me know when it'll play.
We're going. Okay. Sumo Digital Production. That's a UK-based studio.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
They killed the power around the world. we're gonna light it back up because this is far from over.
Who's
In
that?
fact, it's only just begun. That's why we brought in you. You got the talent. Now you need the tech. Big things do fall! Today, you throw grenades. Boom! Tomorrow, you'll be throwing cars. Forget dropping bombs. You're dropping buildings.
I mean, Terry's crazy ass, or that's crazy ass.
Time to step up your boom. Oh!
That's what I'm burning you.
It's go time! Yeah, son! Oh yeah! Welcome to the agency!
Determination to conquer all my ambitions. Get to this position, and so my disposition. Not seeing no limits, killing the competition. Yeah, I'm a beast. Now I'm released. Ready to feast, calm and peace, not in the least. I think that I'm number one, just to keep it 100. 0 to 100. So you have a opponent. Are you a beast? Are you released? You ready to feast, or do you release? Not in the least. Do you think you're number one? Can you keep it 100? 0 to 100. Show me how much you want it. Some people never have trouble. That's why they don't know what the struggle is. I don't pay the cost, and they know the boss. Analyze my losses. Now taking off. Yeah, I'm a beast. Now I'm released. Ready to feast. Peace, not in the least. I think that I'm number one. Just to keep it 100. 0 to 100. So you have a opponent. Are you a beast? Are you released? You ready to feast, or do you a beast? Not the least. Do you think you're number one? Can you keep it 100? Are you a beast?
I like that song.
Yeah, that's great.
Right, so Crackdown 3 has been in development since at least since the announcement of the Xbox One. At least.
Yeah.
Probably longer than that. So we're finally getting...
It was a 360 game, wasn't it?
Yeah. We're finally getting an official release. Yeah, Rota's right in the sense of like its art style does play and its like world style does play a little bit in the direction of Saint Row.
Yeah.
I can see those similarities. Luke is a big Crackdown guy, right?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does this make you feel about this? Like,
Very good. Like it looks like Crackdown 1 was great but had its flaws. Crackdown 2 was great but had its flaws. But it seems to be they're combining the best of Crackdown 1 and Crackdown 2 like together. Because Crackdown 1 was great because you were playing as like this super cop beating up criminals and stuff.
Yeah.
But like the powers weren't all there and like the gameplay wasn't all there. But like Crackdown 2 had way better gameplay and way better leveling and way better like toys to play with. Because the whole point of this series is that you are basically a super freak. You own these toys which you can then use. But like the story of Crackdown 2 was like they tried doing this thing where you have to fight criminals, but you also have to fight zombies and stuff.
Yeah.
And like it was still fun, but like the environment wasn't as destructible, and like the campaign was super short, and the idea behind that was that like you and your friends all load in together and just run through this game.
Yeah.
But like I barely knew anyone that had it, so I never got like a full complement.
Yeah.
And like there's loads of vehicles which are like 4-player vehicles and stuff. But I don't see that much of that in this. So I'm hoping that they dropped some of that and made it not as co-op heavy for fun.
Well, this was the single player trailer.
Yeah.
And they have said that, interestingly enough, they have said that obviously there is the multiplayer aspect, and they have said that the multiplayer world is much, like, immeasurably more destructible than the single player world is. So there's a bit of a disconnect there, but that's basically due to them being able to use servers to offload physics from the consoles.
Well,
Is the reason for the multiplayer being more destructible. But so that's good then, in the sense of like, if you want the extra destructibility, it's there.
Yeah, and I kind of like that as well, because when you're going through on single player, the last thing you need is like some higher level guy who's in your party. Like, you know, you go through a building killing people, and then suddenly they drop the building. It's like, well, okay.
If I can't destroy a building into the shape of blood. Yeah, since we haven't seen the multiplayer footage, honestly, like, so they say fully destructible world, take that as a grain of salt. We've heard that a lot, you know? Like, game developers have said that for a long time, it's never been true yet.
Well, like, I'm hoping, well, in their reveal trailer, they allow you to drop, like, a whole series of buildings. So I'm hoping they're keeping true to, like, that's the idea that they're going for, and that's what they want to do.
I think they'd want to showcase a smaller...
They're saying they're being true to that reveal in the multiplayer.
Yeah.
But they're saying in the single player, that is not true anymore. It's basically what they're saying. So yeah, we'll see. Personally, personal opinion, Crackdown. It doesn't look nice to me. It doesn't look. It looks like Nia said. It looks really arcadey and kind of boring to me. I don't think I get that base joy anymore from just like going boom on things. Which seems like what Crackdown's like speaking to. It's speaking to that like boom joy in people. And the other thing is, looking at the game, it feels to me like, when you tell me Crackdown was in development for 4 years, I'll be like, yeah. Like, it looks like a game from the beginning of the Xbox One life cycle. It doesn't look like a game from today.
Kamal. Mm-hmm. Who hurt you? Who doesn't enjoy strapping on some C4, getting an oil tanker, and just going to town on some bad guys?
The thing is, I can enjoy that, like, in bits, but I think a game needs to be much more than that. I think GTA 5 is a beautiful example of, like, how you can have a world that has lots of destruction and chaos and fun, but also strapped to that a deep, really interesting story, like, and really cool world mechanics, like,
Make Terry sad, come on.
No! I love Terry! Don't do this to me!
I would agree with... I would lean more towards Kamal's thoughts, because it looks really pretty. I like the way it looks, but like I said, it looks very simplistic and very just shooty boom boom.
Yeah.
And I'm not the biggest fan of like standard shooters to begin with.
Yeah.
So it would look like a game I would totally watch this game. I would watch it or stream it and stuff, but I just wouldn't. I don't think I'd buy it.
Well, what I'm hoping is, they haven't really shown it in the trailers, but I'm hoping they just bring back the toys, because Crackdown 2 had some serious, like,
toys.
This is just fun, you know? Just like...
Yeah. Nia says explosions aren't enough for him anymore, and Rota says it's because he raised you all right.
So that's who hurt me when I was a kid, Luke. Rota hurt me when I was a kid. There you go.
Yeah, Rota beat the joy with you.
I don't want to rush you guys, right? But at 9:40, I'm dropping this podcast because I will go eat.
Let's go on to,
should we take a short intermission?
No, okay. So let's go on to
Suck a butt.
Show anything for this one because it's pretty self-explanatory. It doesn't really show much, but also announced a equal to Life is Strange called Life is Strange Before the Storm.
Okay, have we?
No.
It's everything we wanted not to happen.
Yeah, okay, I'm glad we're in agreement here. I wanted to... I hate it so much.
I loved Life is Strange. It was a really good game. I thought it was really cheesy to start with, but it got really, really, really...
It made... Its cheese became charming. That is so hard to do.
Right, yeah.
That is so hard to do. Like, I cannot understate how much of an achievement that was. Like...
Yeah.
Life is Strange was a really good game, but so people like Chris have said that like, oh, prequel's great. They want to explore like some of like Chloe, and it's Chloe, by the way. It's focused on Chloe. There is no Max in this game.
That's how she ends up there. It's Chloe and Rachel before she got
before Max came home.
Yeah.
So it's a focus on Chloe.
You were saying Chris was interested to see how she got to this point in her life and what happened and all that.
But I always felt like...
I don't want to know that. No, I don't want this.
I always felt... Yeah, exactly. I felt like that game, Life is Strange, was totally designed as a standalone game and provided you with enough backstory on all of the characters to make like to keep you satisfied, but still keeping like kind of that air of imagination and mystery that like I think characters should have, you know.
Yeah, so I feel like, yeah, like you said, I think it dropped you into like an environment with enough story to keep you hooked, but not enough to like let you know what was going on. And the whole going back into it just sort of like kills the originality of the game had, right?
Yeah.
And I know we were talking about this.
I mean, I'd be happy for them to prove me wrong. It's 3 episodes, right? So it's not like the same length of thingy.
I think the first one comes out August, I think it was.
Oh, you want to know another thing that pisses me off?
Go for it.
Well, it makes me sad, I guess. Ashley Birch isn't voicing Chloe for this game.
I saw that. She's not doing it because of the strikes that were on during the recording.
The voice actor strikes. Yeah. Which,
so
like,
it's gonna be a story that I don't want to see. The character I already know is gonna have a different voice.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be good. I'm disappointed. I know when they announced it being changed, we were talking about how all they have to do is not do a prequel. Please don't do a prequel.
Yeah.
Then they did a prequel.
Has actually Birch done enough games now to the point where we can be like, she's a good voice actress?
I think so. She's in a lot of games.
She's in a lot of games. I think it's not even that. It's not even that. It's the fact that she is already the established voice for this character. They're doing.
Oh,
I think Luke was just talking on a tangent.
Not a tangent, yeah, but I've heard of her before. She's not someone I'd never heard of. So
yeah, I think Ashley is one of those people that's like that has proven that she's a pretty good actor. And also a pretty good voice actress, which not a lot of people have done, so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
She was an alien colonial marines, that's a sin right there.
That's bad. Oh, Black Mark.
Black Mark on her whole career, even though no one knew, but still.
Let's move on from being disappointed from Life is Strange and go on to the Anthem reveal.
Anthem! Oh, I'll show this. We can talk. We can talk while it shows. It's a pretty long one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's a 6-minute one, so let's just play that and we'll just go over it.
Yeah. It's Anthem is one of the biggest things that happened this year.
I'm John.
I watched Anthem and woke up in a bed with a cigarette in my hand. I was like, what happened? What is this?
So Anthem's a BioWare game that they showed at the Sony conference. And it's by the same people that made Mass Effect 1, 2, 3. So the main BioWare studio, basically, is what I'm saying. So basically what I'm saying is it's not the people that made Andromeda. It's basically what I'm saying. But I mean, look at the footage. Of course it's not the people that made Andromeda.
Here's you, BioWare!
Looks like garbage, right?
Oh my god!
I'm looking at Andromeda right now.
I love that this game came out for a terrible reason. And that's basically because when Andromeda came out, and I was like, and lots of people were like, originally when they were showing the footage, this doesn't look like a step forward, you know. And people were like, it's 4K, it's BioWare. And then they released this, and they were like, yes, this is what a step forward looks like from BioWare. There you go, ladies.
It's like they did Dragon Age and then took a step forward, and then Andromeda took 2 steps back. And they released Anthem and proceeded to just like jump 3 feet.
Yeah, just get in a rocket and go to the moon.
But move! Let's go away from this thing!
So Anthem is from like it's pretty vague, but it's RPG meets looter shooter. So they're basically going for a similar vibe as Destiny in gameplay style. So it's a shooter where there's going to be collectible items, like open world environment, and you can get together with a small group of friends. It is going to have a single player campaign that can be played in co-op. So it's a lot more similar to Destiny 2 than it is to Destiny 1. In the sense that like it learned that lesson that Destiny also learned when making Destiny 2, that a story is still important. And you can't kind of like skimp out on the story area.
But already knows that apart from Mass Effect Andromeda.
So BioWare has said that there is going to be a lot more RPG elements in this than was shown in the trailer. Because a lot of people are kind of worried that because this is like, when you look at this game, I don't think if I showed you this game without telling you it was BioWare, I don't think many people would think it was a BioWare game, you know?
It was way more Monster Hunter-esque.
Right, and lots of fans were worried that they were kind of ditching their RPG roots. But they were like saying, while yes, this is a different step for them, it is going to involve a lot more RPG elements than games of its ilk have done before, you know?
Yeah.
So honestly, that makes me more excited because I feel like I can trust BioWare to have a much stronger single player campaign than I can trust.
Wait. We can trust BioWare's A team.
The real BioWare.
The team do a bad
Yeah.
job on something.
I've been waiting for a game like this to come out and just do it well. I'm really hoping that this game is going to do it well.
This or Destiny. Honestly, like I don't like if Destiny 2, like if that does it well, GG. I'm happy still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm with you, Luke. Like I think this idea is good. I think its execution has been imperfect so far.
Like I'm hoping that Destiny 2 will just be that game that I pick up at the beginning of September.
Yeah.
And I don't want to pick up anything else and save my money then.
Until
I get an Xbox One X.
And that's what the
Like, I can
pitch
just
is
play
as well,
Destiny.
isn't it? Right? Like the whole the logic behind a game like Destiny is that.
Stick with it.
Yeah, and that's a hard thing to deliver, obviously. So the major differences between Destiny and this game, you are all Iron Man in this game, but in Destiny you are not Iron Man.
Is that miniature Titanfall?
But for reals, on a more serious note, in this game there is no class. There's no such thing as a class. Classes are tied to your suits, to the Iron Man suits that you have. So you can get like bigger, more kind of like tanky suits. You can get smaller, more sleek suits, and you can get the suit. The main suit you're looking at here is actually a middle suit. So I'm interested in what like the dexterity focused ones look like. Yeah, because this is very streamlined, isn't it? And also the suits themselves are customizable in the sense of like think of Need for Speed, like when you're modding a car. Yeah.
You drifted them.
But you can. So basically, the idea is that your suit will be very you, right? And like, and you'll also have a garage of suits. So you can make suits for different occasions. You can be like, oh, today I'm going out with my friends to do this fight in this area. We know it's going to have like a bunch of bigger monsters instead of a lot of smaller ones like you're seeing right now. Let's get some of the heavy suits that do slow but large damage. Or you can be like, oh, today we're going to go do like this thing. Basically, it has that flexibility that I think is important to keep it feeling fresh without requiring you to go make a brand new character and level all the way back up to your thing and all of that noise.
I'm just hoping that the suits have loads of advantages, but loads of disadvantages as well.
Yeah. So there's a reason to switch. There's a reason to explore. Yeah, I feel you.
Also, the suit that we're seeing on screen by the person who's playing, that's meant to be like the kind of jack of all trades, they said.
Yeah.
That's meant to be like, this is the standard whatever suit.
Yeah. And his friend's suit is the super tanky one. And these other four friends, you don't get a very good look at them. These other two that just joined, but one of them has a lower air hover mechanic, which looks pretty cool.
Looks like a wizard.
Yeah. Yeah, it does actually.
Wait. He's a wizard. He comes from the moon.
So some important things to keep note of when looking at this or when getting hyped for this. This is a vertical slice, so this is pre-alpha. The majority of the game is still in development. Release window is it says coming 2018. They're saying financial year 2018, so that can be as late as March 2019.
Yeah, it's April to April, isn't it? So.
Yeah. And then it could be delayed, it could be whatever. But this gameplay was running on a real Xbox One, though. This wasn't even...
Holy shit, really?
Xbox One X, obviously. But yes, it was actually live RAM on Xbox One.
100% sure.
Yeah. So it's a vertical slice, again, to stress. Vertical slices are basically when game development studios decide on all of the gameplay techniques that they want to use and the software techniques they want to use, and they create like a singular level or a singular area, and they fill it as much as possible, and then they show that.
Script it
and they script it. So whether it can sustain that level of quality throughout an entire 100, 200 hour experience full of much larger areas and much more varied characters and missions and stuff like that is a different story. Yeah.
One thing that impressed me that was no load screens at all. Just
Yeah.
Apart from the ones where they moved from the hub to the going outside part, there was no kind of you can't even tell.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna move on to the next thing.
Just catching up with chat. Andy sounds so far away. When she tells you not to worry about her ex, it's like companies can't branch from the original IP and make creative content without criticism from everyone. Wait, which game? Oh, this is he's talking about BioWare. Yeah, I agree with you. Fans lock companies into areas too much. You gotta let studios explore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I was just catching up with chat.
That's alright. Okay, so the last thing, I don't think you have to play for this one because it's sort of the same trailer as we showed last time. But they just released another gameplay trailer for Shadow of War.
Shadow of War. Oh my god, it looks even better. It keeps, dude. I was so freaking against this game when they announced it.
I know. Yeah, you were not a fan of this game, and now you're your biggest convert, right?
Yeah, I love it. Every time they show me something new, I'm like, yeah, that looks cool.
I think the best part of this entire trailer was the orc dude that you can recruit.
Yeah.
Because
he was great.
If you haven't seen the trailer, I'll put it in the chat right now.
Everyone is basically saw that orc, and then they were like, "Yo, that guy has so much character. I love him." And everyone is right. So,
yeah, that orc is going to sell so many games for but yeah, it just shows that they're really working on their character art as well.
Yeah.
So they're really because I know their big thing was they were making the Nemesis system to get bigger.
Yeah.
And obviously they're really expanding on not just the Nemesis system itself, but on the characters of all the orcs and everything.
Yeah.
So hopefully each particular orc is going to have his own stories, different stuff.
Yeah.
This guy had so much personality. It's like I think we literally said these characters don't have personality. What's going on here?
Yeah. They were saying that they felt like the characters had personalities in the old Nemesis system before you gained them, before you possessed them or whatever. Dominated them, I think is the term, right? But they were after you dominate them, they kind of become these shells.
Yeah, they're just sort of drones that you just order about and stuff.
Yeah, so they wanted to change that.
To show that. Yeah. Yeah, this is probably one of the games I'm more hyped for, but we'll talk about that later. Me
too. Unfortunately, it's been pushed back to October.
Yeah.
Which, good for them, to take their time, but I was really looking forward to it in August, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey.
Why is everything...
You know what's coming out in August that we're not going to talk about today, but I'm hyped for? Mario vs. Rabbids, that's it. That's all we're saying about it. Moving on.
Okay, let's move on to the next. So that was something we found good about the Microsoft conference. We're going to push on so Kamal can eat food this afternoon. Let's go for... Let's go on to Nintendo since you mentioned it.
Yeah. Let's do Nintendo. Okay.
I think so, like I said, we don't actually have Mario vs. Rabbids on here, but we can talk about it for a little bit. So,
okay, yeah.
What it was essentially was Mario XCOM.
Yeah. So basically, Ubisoft, by the way. So all of the conferences overall, and we'll talk about this more at the end, maybe if we have time.
Yeah, if we've got time, yeah.
Were pretty average, right? But Ubisoft, I reckon, had a pretty stellar conference.
Yeah, we'll get on to that in a bit, but yeah, they did really good. Surprisingly good.
And one of the games they announced at the Ubisoft conference, but it's actually a Nintendo game, but it's actually a Ubisoft game. Where should we talk about this now? I'm confused.
Let's just talk about it now, because it's Mario. Mario's first name on it, so it's a Nintendo game.
Yeah, it's a Mario and Raving Rabbids crossover that somehow turned into an XCOM-like strategy game. Lord knows how any of these things happened. None of these things should exist.
Spoda said it was Mario Rabbids Unknown, basically.
Yeah. And honestly, when it came out, I wanted to make fun of it, and I wanted to hate it.
When they first got it, I was like, this is so dumb, this looks so stupid, and then they started showing the gameplay, it was like,
I was like,
This is actually quite good.
this looks fun! Like,
You guys mentioned the name to me and I almost left the room.
right? Everyone's initial reaction to it is that. No, and I don't blame you. But then you look at it, it's like XCOM-y, but you know, it's more light-hearted and like way brighter looking, and the mechanics look fun and interesting, and they've added enough like unique stuff on top of XCOM, especially in the area of movement, that it makes it feel kind of fresh. And it's coming out in August, and I'm like, I'm buying that. I'm doing it. I'm gonna like it's the perfect game to have, like, you know, in those kind of like lulls, like where you've got nothing else going on and you're like, I want to play a thing. Pick up a strategy game. Strategy games are always good for filling in time like that. Yeah. That's why people replay XCOM so many times.
That's why I've still got ever since I bought XCOM on disc like several months. It's still on my Xbox. I've not put another disc in there. It's just there, I'm bored. I play around.
Yeah, and then this is on the Switch, so it's portable. It's perfect. I want it. I want it. I hope.
You guys don't understand. By doing this, you'll be giving the rabbits money, and they'll return later on.
They'll return in a remake game, and Luke will blame us.
Anyway, still sticking with Mario, they also showed some more gameplay from Mario Odyssey.
Oh, so good!
Which was
I'm so happy with. I had a good E3 this year. Like, there was a lot for me this year.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff for Nintendo weebs. Like, come on, so let's play this one because it's like 2 minutes.
I'll play it because I also love the music in this.
Okay.
Right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. This trailer is kind of terrifying. I'm not gonna lie, but we can talk about it after.
I can't imagine what makes you think it's terrifying. It's not like there's something really big and non-Mario like on the screen right now.
I just mean like in an existential sense. It's kind of terrifying.
A little bit. I saw many vehicles that it's Yoshi in 4K.
It just froze. Yeah. It's gone. It's back.
It's freedom like you never knew. Or a pass, said a word, I'll be there in a flash. You could say my.
Okay, this is not playing well.
Moment.
I'm just gonna give it one last try, but if it freezes again, I'm just gonna pause it. Okay. I'm just gonna mute this and let it run, and we can talk about it. So it's not just irritating people.
Yeah,
it's constant freezing.
So basically, Mario Odyssey, it seems to be game changing in a lot of different, a huge amount of different.
There's a lot of new mechanics in this. Probably the most new mechanics in a Mario game, in a single Mario game.
Yeah, for sure. There's like new mechanics. There's new. There's a lot of different landscapes.
Yeah, the world is.
Environments this time.
Yeah.
Changes a lot.
Some of them are really jarring. I'm not gonna lie, right? Like I remember when they showed it
really
off. Originally, it was like the real world one, right? And everyone was kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like Mario next to real human beings, and like, what is Mario now? And I don't know what life is anymore. And there are a few like that. There are a few where the art style clash is a bit strong, and I would say like, if I was going to critique it just on that stuff, like that would be probably my strongest critique, is that some of the art styles don't mash very well.
Yeah.
But the gameplay looks hella fun. And they've got Pauline singing a classic like swing song about Mario like throughout the trailer. I'm just in love with it. I'm just like, this is so stupid. I love it. This is how Nintendo wins my heart. They just show me stupid crap, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so dumb. I want it. But sorry, Nia, about the buffering. I just stopped it.
Yeah.
We're dropping tons of frames.
Yeah, it's been buffering and loading and stuff for me for a while. But you can just turn off the trailers if you want and just talk about stuff now. If it's
we've not got tons of time left anyway. We've only done one press conference.
Yeah, Microsoft,
E3.
the Mario thing looks really awesome. They also announced. I'm just gonna start rattling through them if you've only got not much time left.
Yeah, they announced some Breath of the Wild DLC.
Breath of the Wild, yeah.
It's following the champions, which are the other characters that were like the guys that rode the divine beasts in the main story. It looks like it's going to be interesting. I think it's set before the events of the game.
You're excited for this? The DLC is good, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. It's coming out December. I'm excited for the summer one, the first DLC that they announced a couple months ago. That's still not out.
Where they had the creepy ass Tingle stuff, right?
Yeah, that's the one with the tingle stuff and a horde mode and.
It did not make me tingle.
No.
We can't talk about him without me feeling very uncomfortable.
Basically, without feeling like there's some sort of weird, creepy stalker over your shoulder.
He's nowhere. He's not allowed in any schools whatsoever.
Yeah, he's definitely got strong restraining orders. So about the DLCs, is it the same? Is it like skins?
No, this is a story expansion.
Okay, because the last one was just like skins and stuff, right?
Yeah, the last one was like basically like how I see it is like the last one was like a goodie bag of just like, hey, this is random things that you could have wanted. Maybe you'll like it. And then the second one is the one people are really paying money for. Like, I think the first one's just kind of teasing you over until you get to the second one.
Just to keep your wet for it.
Yeah, basically. Nintendo's just a big tease, really.
It's something that
It's what
people
Nintendo is, really.
wanted for a long time, and something that they finally got this time.
Metroid 4! This is one of the other big, like, I'm going to call them. There was like 6 major announcements this E3. This is another one of them. So Anthem and this one. Yeah, Metroid 4, Metroid Prime 4, has finally been announced. It's one of those things that people have been like, give us this for years, you know?
No, I do not wish to.
And yeah, and they weren't getting it. I will say, something I don't like about this, people have been very positive about it, obviously, you know, they wanted a Metroid game. I don't like that they announced this. I just don't see the point. Like, it's so early in development that the only thing they could show was a title screen. Like, just the words, Metroid Prime 4. It's just like, don't then. Just don't. Keep making the game. We don't need to know that you're making the game for 6 years. Yeah, like we knew was Breath of the Wild for 6 years. We were like, where's Breath of the Wild? Like, it's just...
You've just got to keep the fanboys coming back. Keep them excited, right?
Yeah, I think the thing that got me even more is they announced 2 Metroid games today. One on the 3DS that's actually coming out and looks great. Why not just announce the one? Like, that's fine! Like, you don't need to...
Maybe you should only announce stuff you've actually got some...
It's because they have nothing else.
Yeah, Nintendo have nothing else. That's the only thing.
They did this twice. The next thing is Pokemon.
So they had the guy in his office talking about how they were bringing Pokemon Tournament to the
Switch.
The Switch as well.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, by the way, we're working on a Pokemon RPG." And I was like, everyone's like, "Oh my god!"
Finally! And everyone was suddenly wet and fainted on the ground. And
yeah, everyone had those sort of anime things with all the bloods and stuff, and everyone fainted.
And it was like, this is coming from a guy who's literally working on another game as you're talking to him.
Based on the regular Pokemon
update cycle.
Update cycle, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. They're gonna have so they've announced they were bringing out another
Sun and
Black
Moon.
and what's it, for the new Sun and Moon. They were bringing that out. That'll be in a few months.
Yeah.
Then it'll be like at least another year after that before you even hear about this again.
Yeah.
And then probably another like 6 months or so before it comes out. And that's based on like the normal update cycle. With this is a whole different new thing. So it could well be longer than this. But it's not gonna stop people getting excited because everyone wants a Pokemon RPG ever since they were like 12.
I think everyone wants a Pokemon RPG, and they also like Nintendo fans, like people that love Nintendo games, like say you love Pokemon or Fire Emblem or whatever, you love it for the gameplay. Like, Nintendo always knows how to make good gameplay, but like it couldn't hurt. We're never mad when they give us something that's also graphically interesting. You know? And like the Switch feels like the first console in a long time that they can do stuff that's at least somewhat graphically appealing. Like Zelda Breath of the Wild was great because it felt like a real step forward for the franchise graphically. And hearing that a Pokemon's going to be on like a full-fledged console like performance level Nintendo machine, like
they better do something with it.
Yeah, they better do something cool with it, and I hope I can see them doing something interesting. And you know, it's about time, honestly, because Pokemon's kind of, even with the Sun and Moon update, it's been kind of stuck in a loop.
Yeah, it's got to the point where even like people who've been salty grandfathered into Pokemon since the first generation, like myself, is getting sick of Pokemon.
Yeah.
So I haven't finished a Pokemon game since like Black and White 2, I think.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I know I didn't finish the Ruby and Sapphire remakes, and I haven't finished Sun and Moon. I know lots of people said Sun and Moon was an improvement, and everyone loved it.
Yeah.
So it feels. It's just. I know it was a bit of a change, but it just didn't.
It's not enough.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like me was Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it needs a big shit. They need pirates now.
They need pirates. Pokemon pirates.
Yeah.
The pirates are great. Just saying now.
And the next major announcement on Nintendo was Fire Emblem, right? Fire Emblem?
Wow! That was our other. Yes, that was the last bit of Nintendo stuff we've got. Yeah.
Yeah. So Fire Emblem, they had announced it before. We just seen kind of another one of those like fairly like title just trailers,
Yeah.
but this time they showed a longer trailer that I sent Andy when they had announced it, and then they actually showed gameplay, which I was so happy about. I was kind of annoyed that they hadn't shown gameplay, but they showed gameplay on the floor, and they had one of their like little treehouse things where they showed like 30 minutes of gameplay, and it looks like Warriors, but also it has a surprising amount of strategy elements pulled in from Fire Emblem. I don't know if you made it through all of it.
I was wondering how they would have to put some, because Fire Emblem is solidly a strategy game.
Yeah, and I honestly wouldn't have minded, but I thought that they were just going to be like, hey, here's a Fire Emblem skin for Warriors, basically.
Dynasty.
Right?
Everyone loves Dynasty. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Everyone loves it on Slash game where you can destroy that entire. That's why Dynasty Warriors did so well.
Yeah.
But if they brought it out like that, I would have still played it. It was still probably we've got a Switch for it.
Yeah,
it's just an extra cherry on top, right?
Yeah, it's good because firstly, I feel like Dynasty Warriors is a bit overplayed, and secondly, if you're gonna say that you're related to something, put the effort in, and it feels like they did like
some elements.
Yeah. So they've got the weapons triangle in it. They've got that you can command units to go to take over separate places instead of having to switch to them like in the old Warrior style. They've got some other stuff that I don't even remember. Like the leveling system's been changed to represent the Fire Emblem leveling system more closely.
So it's got all the different skill trees and stuff, and you can upgrade people to your was it the fucking their roles? So like, once you reach a certain level, you can upgrade them to like one path or another.
Yeah.
And it changes their specs. So say you could either be for your standard soldier, you get them to be a paladin, which is like a big dude with a big shield and a big spear, or you can be like a shield knight, which is like a big tough dude and a horse, but he's faster, but he's less.
Exactly.
And the other one's literally just a walking block of armor.
Exactly.
So I think it's bringing all that sort of stuff in.
Yeah, it's cool. It was a lot more, honestly, effort than I expected, so that was a happy surprise.
I'm gonna make a shield wall of guardians.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
And it's just gonna be a really slow wall.
Do you know if it has any form of like co-op play?
I don't think anything's been announced so far. It would be really awesome if it did.
It would. That would be so cool. Oh, I'd be so down.
But as far as I know, they have not announced anything yet. Since last time I checked.
Oh well.
Stay tuned though.
That was all of Nintendo, and then Kamal, can you walk us through Sony? Because Sony is the only one.
Yeah. Okay, so Sony, like I predicted, Sony was a lot of the same in the sense of like Sony last year had a 2-hour-long press conference similar to Microsoft's this year, but it was almost completely exclusives. But the way they did that.
What kind of exclusives?
My exclusives, not Sony's, Microsoft's exclusive. My exclusives.
My God.
But the way they did that was kind of cheeky in the sense that they announced a bunch of stuff that was coming out in 2018 and 2016, right? So like,
that's just cheating, is what that is.
Lots of the stuff wasn't actually near done. So this year, as a result of that, this year's Sony presentation felt kind of like a lull in the sense of they were talking about a lot of stuff that was really interesting and that I want to buy, but we had already seen. So we saw, just to name a few of the things that we saw last year, they showed again God of War. We saw more gameplay of God of War. They have said that they're sticking true to the God of Dad mechanic, you know, and you will be like basically a father figure to the son, carrying him through like a dangerous, desolate wasteland while protecting him, you know, and raising him. And it looks, cool. It looks dope. Like, it looks great. They showed Detroit again, Detroit Becoming Human, which is the new game by the guy who makes Heavy Rain. It's about androids, and they're gonna, like, you know, like, and basically it's doing the whole like, how smart does a robot have to be sentient, and when a robot is sentient, are they human, or can you slave race them, like, and all of that, or are they dancers?
Depends on the program.
Is the real question. And that game, like, and they showed the other side of that game, which was cool, kind of cool in the sense, like, the first one was focusing on a detective, the first trailer we saw last year. This year they showed us it focusing on one of, like, the leaders of the Android Rebellion. And that also looks super dope, and I want it. And then they also showed some Days Gone, which I'm not super interested in. It's a zombie game. They're saying that they're going to have, like, the big thing for Days Gone is that it's going to have massive hordes. Like, apparently they're going to have up to 1,000, like, zombies on screen at a time. Which is, yay, zombie, whatever, I don't care. So they also showed the Uncharted DLC again, which we already knew was coming out. See what I mean, bro? Like, I keep saying, like, this again and again and again.
Yeah,
because
basically, remember all that stuff we did last year? It's coming out next year.
Yeah, so the final thing they showed again was Spiderman, but this time they showed us a full 8-minute gameplay segment. Basically looked like Arkham meets Spider-Man. Like, it had, like, really tight combat. It was really bright and colorful. They're saying a big thing in the game is that you can't kill people, like, and you're Peter Parker. Right. And they're saying that a big other part of the game is that you're going to be playing not a lot, the majority still as Spider-Man, but there will be elements where you're playing not as Spider-Man, but as Marcus or whatever, like. Outside of the mask.
Miles Morales.
Miles, that's the one. And, something negative about the Spider-Man gameplay. There's a really large QTE element. People weren't super happy about that. They've said that that's nowhere near the majority of the game.
Not indicative of the actual
I don't mind QTE every once in a while to set a cinematic mood up, you know? As long as it's not the majority, yeah. So I was really, really, really excited by that. I think it looked beautiful. I think it looked really fun. I want to play it right now. Give me at me. Give me at me. Give me at me.
Give it at me.
And then they showed 2 new things that I'm really excited for. Horizon Zero Dawn expansion, which is basically an extension towards the end of the story. They're taking us to a different climate. It's going to be basically a completely, like, kind of iced, desolate, like, place that has, like, I don't know what part of the planet this is comparable to, but I know there are places that are basically freezing cold, but they have, like, hot springs, like, you know, like natural
in, like,
geos,
super high north and, like, Hokkaido in Japan.
Yeah, kind of like, I think, like, similar climates to that, like in the winters and stuff.
Like tundra, but it's got, like, hot springs.
Yeah, it looked cool. It looked pretty interesting. I haven't finished Horizon Zero Dawn yet.
Iceland has that too.
Yes, that's very good example. I haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn yet. I've got it. I finally got my PS4 here. I'm gonna start it probably today or tomorrow. But we all know that game was super well received. No one's going to be mad about being able to play more of that game as a new story.
Don't make me play more of awesome, well-received games.
Shout outs to Nia. And the final thing that they announced about in the Sony press conference was Shadow of the Colossus remake. Damn it, I hate this word. Remake, not remaster. Shadow of the Colossus has been remastered before. This is a complete remake. They're working from the ground up. The lead on the game, making sure that they stick close to the original, is the same guy from the original Shadow of the Colossus. We're not talking any real major changes here. Basically, the guy said he wants to do Shadow of the Colossus again, but show you what is possible now with the generations of, like, hardware improvements that we've received. As someone, that just, like, I'm down. Shadow of the Colossus is an amazing game.
Awesome.
Playing it again with modern tech is, sold.
Buy PS4, buy that, play again.
Easy. Right, so that was Sony. A lot of the same, not necessarily a bad thing, not necessarily a great thing. Very meh, I'd say.
Yeah. Okay. We've got 10 minutes, so rather than go through the last 3, why don't we talk about which one overall. Let's go about overall opinions. So, about which conference you thought was the best one, and like a couple of moments that you liked the most out of it. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Minute.
Yeah.
So, Luke, because the Kamal's just gone on about Sony for ages, why don't you tell us yours first?
My favorite moment from the press conference has to be during the Microsoft one, where the guy that came out for the Twin Brothers game.
That was EA.
A way out.
Oh yeah.
It's okay.
Sorry, I just remember the guy. Like,
I'm so glad you brought this up though, because like this was one of my favorite moments as well.
Because just his enthusiasm, just his pride for like his work, team, everything that he's done, just like leaking out of him.
Yeah.
Well, just like this game is fucking amazing. I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't swear, but this game.
It's always nice to see like the passion. Like there was a couple moments this E3 where the passion just like leaked out and like broke the professionalist. Like,
yeah, so the guy who did the Rabbids game, he was like in tears because he was so happy about it. So that was like, oh.
So I'm
because that's what you want, right?
Yeah.
That's what you want from like the people who are making this, to just be like, this has all come together beautifully. Like,
it just helps you remember, like people put their heart and soul into making these games.
Those are the people that like. That's the part that takes gaming from like the whole like consumerist side to like the artistic side. And when you see someone like that freaking into it, you know that what they're working on, like even if you're not if you play it and you don't super like it, you'll see the art in it because you'll see like the parts of their soul that they've left in that game. You know what I mean?
They put like years of their life into this.
Yeah. And then you know I feel like that's the thing that differentiates those freaking amazing games from like the Call of Duty 25 that comes out next year.
I felt it was a really good difference because that guy, the one you talked about, Luke, he came on not long after the Battlefield guy, and he was going on about the DLC, and he was so dead. You could tell he did not give one single damn about it. He was reading up a Q count, he was phoning it, and he didn't give a damn. He was monotone. He did not care. And if everyone who made games like that, they would all be very grey, all be very boring, very efficient, I'm sure. But all you want, you need the passion and the love for it. Otherwise, you're not going to get any good games out of it.
Yeah.
Another one of my favourite moments was when the woman who's playing the new character in Battlefront 2 came out, and basically they just slammed themselves so hard. Like, they did the whole thing. It's like, look, we got it wrong the first time.
Yeah.
Like, that drove my hype up the wall because they were like, we listened to you.
So I watched the Co-op Show podcast, and I watched their impressions, and I'm actually like really with Jesse Cox on my opinion of this section of EA. And in the sense he was in the crowd, right? And first opinion he had was, oh hot damn, that woman looked at you like you were trash and he loved it. So I know Jesse is into some BDSM stuff, but other than that, he was also like, he was really pissed off that they brought the main character from their story campaign that looks super interesting on the stage and didn't let her talk about the story campaign. I was like, what are you doing?
Tease much.
Yeah, also there was that one guy in the crowd that kept whistling at her. It's like, stop, just.
So why would you do that?
After the 5th time.
That's probably why she looks so dumb the entire time.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't know what you'd expect. But, yeah, it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's just like,
have like someone just escort them out. Does it just go?
But you expect it, right? Like, you absolutely expect it to happen with a woman that attractive. But like at the same time,
it's you're surrounded by people. Where's your dignity?
Exactly. I'm really surprised no one just turned around and punched him in the face.
Yeah.
Not because what he's doing is just getting tinnitus in the ear.
Luke's just gonna come on me, Jackson, to punch out the people who catcall all the cosplayers.
I'd be down. I'd be spoiled.
For Columbus. I am now social justice warrior. Like, run around punching people.
Yes, okay, so yeah, Nia says my favourite part was when Jesse appeared at the EA conference and messed it up. So he came out and he was doing Need for Speed, I think it was.
Yeah.
And his
that video is everywhere. I love it.
his teleprompter broke, so he didn't know what he was talking about, and he was like, and then some dude had to come out and rescue him. It was brilliant, especially because EA was the first conference, and everyone's like, yes, it's trash, just like normal, yes, it's so good, it's still blobs, can't make them go away, you can be as advanced as you want, but people are still not going to be able to read their lines. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree, Neil, that was really good. I really enjoyed that bit.
What were your favourite moments, Andy?
What were my favourite moments? Oh my god, I wasn't.
TikTok, motherfucker!
What?
Well, you...
Pressing you for time.
Okay, my favourite moment.
What? I'm confused. I was,
Are you going?
Yeah, I was gonna,
I thought
I
you
was
wanted to
gonna
think.
I was gonna say when the troll from Shadow of War, he was really good. I love that.
Yes, so much character. I just while he was talking, I was just like, I was so happy. Like my smile was just growing. There was 2 moments that did that for me: that troll and the Beyond Good and Evil trailer. I was just like, oh my god, what is happening right now? I'm so happy with what's happening right now.
The Beyond Good and Evil trailer was also gonna be one of my favorite moments, just because it was just the fact that, is this what it is? This is amazing.
Yeah.
Is this Beyond Good and Evil? It is. Oh my god, this monkey has so much personality. This is an Ubisoft game. Ubisoft games do not have characters.
Like the whole end of conference is like meant to be a drop a bomb thing. I think no one did it except for Ubisoft this year.
Yeah.
Like no one truly like dropped a like, and Ubisoft was just like boom. Yeah.
No, we'll talk about the best conference in a sec. But yeah, there was Beyond Good and Evil and Shadow of War.
Yeah.
Also, the first when Metro Exodus got revealed, and you got the first look of like the actual Xbox One graphics.
Yeah.
That was really cool as well. That was
pretty
amazing just to see the steps they've made.
Yeah.
It was maybe not exciting, but it was very impressive.
Yeah.
A better use of it. Yeah, and of course, all the Mario stuff, which was just hilariously insane during Mario Odyssey. Did I leave anything for you, Kamal? What was your favourite moment? It hasn't already been said.
I mean, honestly, so I was up late watching Sony's press conference, and they showed that Spiderman footage, and I was tired, and honestly, like, I was bored because I knew everything that was coming up, and Sony's press conference, something I didn't hit on, it started with broken audio. It was ridiculous. Like, the Twitch stream had no audio for, like, a good 2 trailers. I was like, what is happening here, Sony? But then that Spider-Man trailer, they ended on it, and I was just so happy. I was like, oh my god. Because I played Spider-Man tons. I was telling Luke this. I played Spider-Man tons as a kid. Like, on every console, I played a Spider-Man game. And they were crap, and I loved them anyway. You know?
I had no idea that Kamal was this huge Spider-Man fan.
And then, that Spider-Man footage just tripped the nostalgia in me so hard. Like, I was so down. I was excited. So that was probably my favorite game from the con.
Before we wrap up on favorite conference, Neil, just want to say a quick few words about Dragon Ball, just to placate Neil.
I don't even know what he wants me to say. Neil, Dragon Ball's cool. What do you want me to say?
There's literally nothing to talk about.
So they announced Dragon Ball, a new Dragon Ball game. It was a terrible name called Dragon Ball FighterZ. And it's the cool thing about the game is that it's 2D now. Well, it's faux 2D, like the same way Guilty Gear is. It's very similar to Guilty Gear in that sense. And so it's 2D, and I like that because honestly, I think to take it to a competitive level, and I think the reason Xenoverse hasn't been competitive is because it's very complicated to do that in the 3-dimensional space that Dragon Ball does. In the regular games, right? But in the 2D space, they gotta lock it down, and they gotta. That's what they've said they're doing. They said they're going for the competitive space. Like they said, this is for Dragon Ball fans, but really, this is about making a competitive Dragon Ball game. The other cool thing about
trying to do like Street Fighter Tekken sort of thing.
Yes. The other cool thing about it is that the art is really beautiful, and it all takes from the manga, and all of the fight stances are taken directly from the original art for Dragon Ball Z, and that's pretty dope.
That is pretty dope.
Okay. Very last thing. Which conference do you think did best?
41.
Microsoft.
Okay, Microsoft. Kamal, what do you think?
In all honesty, like Microsoft being just, I think Kamal's gone.
No.
Oh, okay.
I know it. No, Microsoft just being like everyone. It's going to be about the Xbox One X. It's going to be like, like not they haven't got much on the horizon for games and stuff, and they were just like, well, how about now? How about none of that? Or just show you nothing but games?
Shut your bitch mouth. We've got all these games.
Fucking got you.
Would you agree with that, Kamal? Microsoft best?
No,
What would you say?
I think there was a couple that were all pretty mediocre to me. I enjoyed Microsoft's as much as I enjoyed Bethesda's, as much as I enjoyed Sony's. Like, they all had like 2 or 3 games that I wanted. If I had to go by the one that I was spending the most money on, like if I bought games today, every game I liked I bought, it would be Sony's. I'd buy pretty much every game they showed. But honestly, I think this year as a whole was very 7 out of 10. It was like everyone was okay. Yeah. Nobody was great. Nobody was bad.
Kamal's just being the diplomatic parents. Everyone did really.
You
good.
did great, kids. I love you all.
Equally great. Yeah. I didn't watch the Sony one because I don't have a PlayStation. So
which is fair. That makes sense.
I didn't watch the Bethesda one because they turned on at stupid o'clock in the morning.
You know the Bethesda one, there's a backstory to that, which we can't get into super deep, but basically, it was just an alcoholic affair, like, behind the scenes, outside of the press conference. Like, they had, like, Fallout Land, and Dishonored Land, and Wolfenstein Land, and they just gave alcohol out at all of them, and it was, like, a whole thing.
I saw an outside Xbox video where they were literally just in really confused.
Yeah, Jesse said everyone was wasted by the time the conference was on, and like the guy next to him literally passed out. Like,
of the ones that impressed me, though, I would agree with Lucas. I think Microsoft overall was probably the best ones.
But just in the sense of improvement.
Yeah, that's what I'm
right?
saying. An improvement.
I think Microsoft improved over old Microsoft tons, but old Microsoft was trash. So.
I would also say Ubisoft also did a very good conference. Just
yeah,
it's always such a train wrack. It's always huge cringe moments in.
That's actually I take it back. I think Ubisoft was the best.
Most improved certainly.
And I mean like they had a brand new IP, Skull and Bones. They had brand new IP, Beyond Good and Evil. They showed that Mario game that I really liked.
That was cool. I liked that.
Yeah, they brought the Just Dance dancers back because everyone knows we come to laugh at them, and Ubisoft knows that too. You know, and and you know, honestly, like that's not bad. Like Ubisoft did really good.
Yeah, it's fine. It's good. It's good stuff. But yeah, is that done now?
I think so. I think I need to go eat.
So, I'll wrap this up real fast. Thanks for watching us, guys. I think we'll probably be back next week.
Properly as well, off my computer.
Alright, so we'll be back in like good mode, not in trash mode.